Facebook does the calendar.
Is it on?
Sure.
I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, John?
Kyle. Here. Larry.
Here.
Scott. Here. Mark. Brian.
Here.
Danielle. Jeremy. Ray. Yes. Jim.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, proof of publication with the daily record right here. John?
Anyone desiring to speak on any item or issue not on the agenda or any item on the agenda that does not include a public hearing may do so, but shall be limited to 3 minutes. Persons should identify themselves by name and address. Persons speaking should not expect the planning commission to engage in back and forth dialogue regarding their comments unless an agenda item includes a public hearing. No person may speak during the business portion of the meeting, provided, however, persons speaking during a public hearing are limited to between 5 and 20 minutes. The public is advised that a copy of the Opens Meeting Act is located on the north wall of the council chamber, and one copy of all reproducible written material to be discussed at this meeting is available for examination or copy.
Thanks, Brian. I'll make a motion on the agenda. Addition or correction?
Did anyone want to speak?
Okay, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Any visitors, correspondence? Anybody want to speak about something up here for 3 minutes? Name and address. Okay,
Everybody's happy.
thank you. Okay, approval of the agenda. Motion, addition or correction?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Brian, second.
I'll second.
Kyle? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay, I need a motion on the consent agenda, which is made up of the minutes from the June 16th, 2026 Planning Commission meeting, which set the record for the length of minutes. Thanks, John. We had quite a meeting last month. Need a motion.
I would make a motion to.
Second,
I'll second.
Kyle.
Kyle.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay, I'll open a public hearing. 8A, Falcon Business Park 2, consideration approval of application for preliminary plat.
I'll go ahead and start painting a little picture on this project for you guys. Great Prairie City Engineer. The first item here is the Falcon Business Park number 2. This is something we haven't done recently. I have to think back. We've done it recently, how long ago, but we are running a concurrent preliminary and final plat for this proposed development. This is basically just Highway 64 in West Street, north side of the dentist office, south side of the Ace Hardware, and all those areas too, will be a potential phase 3, I guess, potentially. But this area first here is on the north side of West Street, south side of 275, east side of 64, west side of 276 Circle. So they have developers proposed a 28 lot layout here that you can see. Basically, the first 27 lots are what will be on the final plat. 28 is the remnant piece, or the phase 2 area on the east half of the property. The development team will probably give you a little bit more of the acreage breakdown between those two. But basically, you'll see those 27 lots have some unique shapes and slivers and stuff like that. But basically, they have, actually, I don't know how many buildings there are. 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. Then they will look to potentially sell off bays of those buildings to owners. So that's what the geometry of these 27 lots are doing as they connect to that 277th circle to the south. The other part of this is that it's already zoned C3. It was done, I believe, when we did the McCardle development originally, or it was already developed at, but that's the C3 zoning, highway commercial business district's already in place. That obviously aligns in also with the future land use map of the community from the 2018 comp plan as well. So it's still within the highway corridor overlay district, so they still have to abide by the design standards that applies to all commercial anyways. So, but I think the development team will also talk about some of the architectural standards and what they perceive these buildings to look like. So this will have public water and public sewer running through there that we have talked to them about. And then also why we're doing this concurrently is it doesn't have any public infrastructure of streets and stuff to it. It'll connect to the existing cul-de-sac to the south, and ultimately phase 2 will connect to the east on 276th circle adjacent to the Stillwater development, and have 2 points in and out of that. And of course, the interior circulation of their layout will also allow their tenants to access through and adjacent to the property. So that's really the zoning's already set. Water and sewer will be installed currently with the project on phase 1, and then they come back to do phase 2, and then subsequent phases. And then the only other thing on the phase 2 area, they did provide me a schematic of what, if they were going to look to sell off buildings, they can still do buildings or bays. They're going to see what the market ends up telling them over the first phase, but they did submit a revised or a supplement exhibit to me for that lot 28, that would furthermore divide that into like 12 or 13 parcels. Again, then they could sell off those buildings individually, or ultimately they could still do the traditional bays. So just wanted to paint a little picture for you, and I'm happy to answer any questions before you probably hear from the development team.
Any questions for Greg?
Where are we pushing the water to?
It's gonna go north along the Highway 264, Highway 275 ditch. Then also on phase 2, the Stillwater, when we did the Stillwater home, there's 2 storm sewer connections that ultimately go into that lake.
Any other questions for Greg? Thanks, Greg.
Thanks.
Any comments from the public right now? If not, we'll listen to the developers do their presentation.
Ready to roll? Hi, grab my.
Yeah, grab those yellow, those. Yes.
Thank you.
That's a lot better than what we got.
Yes.
Afternoon, my name is Damian Willie. I represent Statement Builders, Statement Developers. We are proposing the development that Greg was speaking of. I have a layout, a very good perspective drawing of what we're proposing to do. The board has looked at it, but this is kind of what we're aiming to do to give you guys a visual. We're doing a little bit different than the surrounding areas are trying to accomplish. It's mostly leasing bays. They're 1,500 square foot guys that are a little bit smaller, more compact. Our goal is to provide maybe a more aesthetic village type commercial development. Lots of landscaping, very, very appealing, soft to drive into, not so industrial look, but our advantage is we would like to offer ownership to people, availability to own their bays. We still will create a entity to lease the bays individually, but there's the opportunity to own each one of your bays. And we're gonna shoot for 1,700 square foot-ish on each bay. We might be building the same footprint, but maybe shoot for some 1,900 to 2,000 square foot bays. But like I said, the first set of buildings will dictate what market takes over on what we're doing for the future second phase.
Landscaping?
Landscaping, we'll provide, if you want a full landscaping plan, we'll provide one, but me and my partner are huge on making things look really pretty. We'll do a combination of pine trees, aspen trees, and cypress trees, berms, rocks. It'll look really cool. It'll look like aspen, driving into this thing.
Okay, Mike, you'll show these people.
I'll take you guys like to pass around the. You guys wanna- Baylor, thanks.
I'll do that.
Here's the individual building itself. It's a classic industrial. Look, we got brick, almost a chunk like a rustic brick. We're either gonna do a black brick or paint the brick, white metal, horizontal black. We sliced the building into little architectural flair here with the pillars, but you get the gist of what we're aiming for. What do you guys think? Looking good? All right, good. Here's the back of the building. Same concept, that's black doors, white siding, monolithic, or monoslab roofs, they're not all up and down. See-through windows in the back doors, so you can see out the building. It's lit up very well. We'll put split units on each bay, air conditioned, heated, straightforward. These are just the black and white 2D elevations. Foundation plan. This shows each bay. There's about firewalls, rated firewalls between each bay. Separate sewer service, separate water service. Each bay is can be roughed in and go ahead, sir.
So those are basically flex space that you're using for, as far as a single entity, as far as construction, whatever, as far as to move in there. So they're building quite a few of those in Waterloo.
Sir, will you come up here and give your name and address?
Yeah.
So the minutes is correct.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
So my name is Greg Carr. I live at 7614 North 281st Ave. I live in Port Valley Shores. So this appears to be flex space, okay? And I know in Waterloo, they're building quite a few of those. And I'm concerned about the aesthetics. To me, we need more commercial buildings out that way versus flex space. The apparent, I just don't know what the demand is for 27 units like that. With all the other units going up in Waterloo, it's just, I'll be blunt, it's not impressive.
Well, that's their risk, I guess.
Yeah, that's their risk.
That's their risk, and I guess that's not for us to judge.
No, I understand that. I'm concerned about the city of Valley just being a industrial park.
But it's commercial, it's not industrial. We don't have an industrial.
So what is that area rated? Is it C3?
Yes,
So they can do anything they want to do with it.
but not industrial.
Still,
Industrial is
it's
I1.
commercial,
They can't make.
Commercial, right.
but you're not gonna have a bar restaurant there as far as at all. It's just gonna be all construction.
No outside storage.
Yeah, well,
No outside storage except parking.
anyway, I'm just giving my opinion. That's
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else like to come up? Come on, sir. Oh, wait a minute, you got something written down?
But,
You got it written down, huh?
yeah, just a couple notes. Derek O'Brien, 28026 Sunrise Circle Valley, Nebraska. I also live in Valley Shores. So I just want to make sure this will be all commercial units, not any retail units for salons or pet store or anything like that. It's all going to be all commercial space for construction, whatever it might be.
Is that limited? Is it limited to any type of, is it limited just to commercial and no retail out of there?
I didn't think you do retail.
So the reason I'm asking is like, you could do retail or you can market it to retail.
everything.
A little bit of everything.
I don't think it'd be very attractive to anybody that wanted to do retail.
Well,
I guess,
Like there's some salons or
There's some
indoor.
stuff in Waterloo.
Yeah, indoor.
Some of those bays have storefront stands.
Some people have
daycare.
daycare, yeah, I guess.
That's gonna be one of my questions is, would it be beneficial to, say, the front third of this project or along the streets have those buildings reserved for retail business that way people driving up can find them and they're not driving up and down looking for a shop that's clear in the back because it was poor timing or,
My reply to that is, I don't disagree with you, but it's hard to really, on a project of this size, it's hard to plan for exact. When you're just trying to do a really cool, like a village, it's hard to pick every bay. When there's like, we're slicing the bay up in the 7 bays, 7 properties, it's hard to build to one exact thing. Approximately, it could be 100 different uses. I mean, there's probably more than 100 uses for each one of these bays. It's hard to just separate that out in different areas. When we're trying to just do a uniform, cool village, like a village soft deal. The things just spread out and it's designed fairly well to balance the look. And it'll be addressed up, it'll be lit up, there'll be plenty of signage. But it's really hard there's so many use cases of these bays, it's hard to just push one area from one thing. I mean, that's my honest reply.
But if I'm a retail, I'm gonna be up front. I'm not gonna take the last one on the end, I don't think, unless
but if those,
absolutely have to. I
if
want to
those
be
fill
somewhere
up with private,
and see.
then you won't, if 2 years from now and all the front ones are full of storage, you're not gonna get people with a business tucked clear in the back.
Yeah,
Maybe if it's an internet business or something like that, and they're just.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard
Clients.
there's so many use cases for these, it's hard to just say what one person's going to do and what one person's going to like compared to another person, what they like. There's just so many visions. It's a blank slate for someone that wants to start from scratch, is it for storage, a business, or a car, this is sort of cars or boats or.
They're huge with sports too, you guys. There's someone will take 2 or 3, 4 bays with the tall ceilings. Look around Elkhorn. Look at even behind. I'm sorry.
We're gonna know who you are, Brian.
Yeah.
Stay there. We don't wanna cut you short.
Brian Gibbs. I'm partner with Damien on the project. So, but I just want to buy some that are across in Bennington. I live in Bennington. They're across from Casey's there. They're behind all those storage units. You gotta drive up. You cannot see them from the road at all. Nobody knows, people don't even know. They're there. They're already getting filled up. There's a huge demand, you guys. We got a big sporting deal going in there. Forget the name of it. Get it the high ceilings. So there's big demand. We have so many kids. Same with over there by UBT, which I'm there a lot. And around that area, they use it for sports. But like Damien said, so many different uses. It could be a car condo. You want to have your hot rod car in there and show it off, like you do over in Elkhorn, okay, and Waterloo. Or, a mom and pop store, a coffee shop, maybe a salon. We're not gonna do mechanics. We're not gonna do a body shop. I'm a perfectionist. I own Gretna Auto Outlet, and my store is perfect at all times. He can probably vouch for that. He's right down the street from me. We run a tight shop. That's why we want to landscape it and do the neat rocks and the trees, have it all lit up. And we want to do some kind of village type light poles that look like a not village, but what I'm looking for,
Like old school
Dundee. Yeah. And we're doing glass doors. These aren't cheap buildings. We're going over the top. This is the next level. The ones in Waterloo, I'm not knocking them. We're doing the big 14-foot glass doors. We're doing the doors on the back. Most all places don't have doors on the back. Hardly any of them do. You go in there, maybe you want both doors up. We're going to do a walk-in door in the front, walk-in door in the back. Heat, cool. If you want to go a little fancy in there, maybe put a mezzanine in there as well, tall enough ceilings, you could do that. Maybe you want a car condo and that the kids can be up watching TV or playing video games or foosball or something on the mezzanine. Just thinking outside the box. They're very popular. In this town, Omaha, the whole area, we are flooded full of storage units. Everybody has storage units. We're not necessarily flooded with this type of use. And it's everywhere. I've lived in Texas, I live in Florida, I've lived everywhere, did my research and pulled up renderings of these places. And it's gonna fill up quicker than what you guys think.
How many stalls are in front of each day?
We'll run 6 to 7 a building.
I think we're required 4, aren't we?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. You installs, yeah, parties.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What are these gonna start at? What do you recommend or suggesting they sell for?
We're trying to aim for that 3, that right under 400 per the 1,700 square foot base.
400?
Yeah.
A little under
We want to be able to, the HVAC guys, the plumbers, we want to be able to be affordable instead of renting their whole life, they want to build a whole piece of ownership. Because I think these buildings are, at that price, they are affordable for what you're getting compared to leasing. And I think the value of these things as we get going here over the 5-year, 6-year period of all the projects together, will keep on appreciating as we go on.
We'll have someone check on the property too weekly, like I own some different business strip malls and stuff, and I have a manager run them. I'll do the same thing here. There won't be a pop bottle, a cigarette butt, anything. I mean, I'm mowing the properties I have out here right now, probably more than I really need to, because I drive around, I see a lot of properties are not getting mowed. If you drive by mine, I just had it mowed 2 weeks ago. It's not cheap, but I try to keep it looking good, even though they're bare, they're raw ground. You know, they don't have weeds throughout this all. When the thing's done, we'll be out there weekly, you know, manicuring these properties, which needs that. So a lot of people do that. They build them, they're done. Weeds are in all the landscape and they look like crap. We have a babysitter to make sure it's looking perfect at all times. So, like I say, we're gonna do that kind of like a white and black with some stone. A little different than all your gray and black ones you see everywhere, like in Waterloo and some of like Elkhorn and stuff. These are definitely stand apart.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
How are you gonna handle snow removal, mowing? Are you gonna have like a owners association
Yeah.
set up?
Like an H12, like an
It'll
H12.
be a condo association, it'll be professionally managed. It'll be mowed with lines like Wrigley Field. The snow, like, we're serious, and the snow we'll have to manage the snow as it snows. But, you know, we gotta figure out a snow plan where at the end of the day, we'll probably designate areas where we push the snow and pile the snow. And that's kind of as we go, and design places and designate them, no parking in snow zones. But, yeah, with this kind of traffic, liability, we gotta get the snow out, and we gotta keep the areas ice-free.
Greg, do you think there's sufficient space between all of those for
We're finalizing.
trucks and trailers?
Yeah, we're finalizing the final, within a foot or two of what we're doing, we're getting a final, we're stretching a couple feet here, but the plan shouldn't change. I mean, it might be a foot here, a foot there with a line, but we're gonna maximize the space. So we're thinking about shrinking the building from 66 to 60, stretching it the same square footage to get more drive lane to get in and out. But yeah, that's the last part of the piece of the puzzle here. We're getting down to here this last week or so before we really get going on permit stuff. Because we have a computer generated ins and outs of the cars and trucks and trailers, what's allowable.
Okay, sure.
Any questions from the,
I got one.
Jim first and then.
go ahead.
Trash, how are you gonna handle trash if those?
That was a question we were gonna ask you, what would you prefer? Do you prefer each unit to have like the small roll around dumpsters? You want to designate enclosed dumpster areas?
Yeah, I don't know how you do it in that development, because
You can do
you
either
have
or.
a bunch of trash cans that they gotta put out on Monday, like a neighborhood, or you could do a community dumpster
Yeah, a trash
in a
enclosure.
couple spots.
Yeah, we'd
Trash
probably have to do a trash enclosure, maybe one for every 2 buildings, I would think, something like that.
But, you know, with that, if you get construction companies in there and stuff, you're gonna get guys that are,
Well, they'll fill it, yeah, exactly.
that's what I mean, yeah, HVAC guy in there, he throws a furnace in there, you're
Just
already
cardboard.
screwed.
Right.
The cardboard they have.
So you might have to, I mean, and that's something you can manage with your, you know,
Right.
with your,
Yeah, maybe we could plot some future enclosed.
yeah, that's
dumpster
just
sites.
something I didn't see on there was,
We're also
you know,
thinking,
trash.
about a loading dock, you know, the size of the project, maybe set in a loading dock, like a loading dock somewhere where you can back up and they can forklift stuff off. But those are two minor things that make things. But I did think about the dumpster enclosure.
just something when I was looking at it, I didn't see any designated areas.
Yeah, because personal, when we got the drive lanes,
Mhm.
we're limited to space, having small dumpsters in the back of them.
Yes.
So that's what we're, but yeah, at 99% sure we'll have designated enclosed dumpsters on the fringe, on the area.
Kyle?
Yeah, I've got a question about the design, the layout of the individual lots themselves. So usually we see these flag lot designs that provide access to a lot that might be further deep in there. So I assume that they're laid out like this because of a requirement we have.
Yes.
For if they're sold. Yet in reality, folks are gonna be using a shared access easement on the pavement part of kind of the design that you've got laid out through that area. It just makes it a little bit more complicated. I guess I would just ask our engineer, maybe city administrator, I mean, is there a better option? Just because we're, you know, the developer wants to sell off these individual units, do we really have to provide a connection back to a city street when you've got a shared easement that you could develop instead?
Right now, yeah, we can talk about that, get back up, just keep.
Okay.
If we want to keep the comment.
All right. It seems like there's a better way or another way, whether it's better or not, but usually the flag lots are built, so that's where you build your driveway to your individual property that you own, but that's not the way this is laid out.
Yeah, phase one, real quick, I'll step back down. We're gonna start with what, 3 buildings, correct? Is that where?
Right.
Yeah, so in phase one, on how fast this could develop, guys, and fill up, we won't go put 15 buildings out. They're gonna put 3, so the demand's gonna tell us when to do another building. If the demand's not there, it might be a while. We might do 3 buildings and be done for a while, or we might do 3 and we can't wait to do 3 more and 3 more and 3 more. And so we'll have like a rendering out there, and we'll advertise it online and stuff like that, just like they do in Waterloo. And I think that demand must be pretty highly out in Waterloo because they keep on putting up more buildings, the way it looks to me. But that's kind of what we'd like to start with on phase one, and then maybe go on to phase 2, phase 3 as the demand is there.
Well, I would think it's gonna take $400,000 for a bay for storage,
You wouldn't think, but,
unless it's a 57 Chevy or something.
well, yeah.
I'm sure you get a price to build a garage on for $900 next to your house.
No, I'm out of land, so.
Yeah. It's just,
I did that while I could.
it seems like a lot of lakes are, growing out with all these lakes, and a lot of these folks have these expensive homes, but they have a 4 or 5 car garage. And they don't need more room for anything else, whether it be a hot rod, whether it be for their jet skis or their boat or their camper. So some of those people might want that for extra storage, so.
Trailers, you can't keep anything outside.
Right, correct. And they say they have a big house, but they have limited garage with the kids and all their toys, golf cart and jet skis and all that stuff, so.
Is this something that the city is gonna have to, as far as security? You're gonna have a security system set up, cameras, or will it be patrolled by a private
That'll probably be individual.
with glass doors on both sides? I mean, everybody can drive by and see what you got. And,
Is there a lot of crime in the valley?
you could bring it with these, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are these gonna be,
I mean, every town has it.
It's like anywhere.
Our police department is, pushed to the limit, so expecting them to
There'll be a
spend time
huge increase in tax revenue here.
to do that.
We'll have cameras at the gates. We will have cameras that will be recorded 24/7. Like a lot of different neighborhoods have, the neighborhood I live in, there's cameras at different intersections. And then each individual, I'm sure, will have a security system on their unit, on their bay, let's call it, and cameras. I'm sure if they got a couple $100,000 car sitting inside that they want to secure, right?
Right.
They're gonna have cameras everywhere, and then we'll put some stuff as much as we can. Or we can have someone patrol it. Maybe that is a good question.
Or
Maybe when
just
it's completely full,
Signage something out at the entrance and.
correct.
Rowdy will have some type of security system to monitor the ins and outs of entrances and exits, something that
Well
basic.
lit.
And well lit, everything be really well lit.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe we can do a combination circuit. We'll probably, we'll have visual, eyes on a majority of the ins and outs and all the major access.
will these garage doors be the mirror ones? Where
They're
you
gonna be
can't-
like a smoke glass where you can't really see in.
You can't see,
Like a smoke glass. It won't be frosted like a smoke glass. Now, if you have every light bulb in with these LED lights nowadays, you might be able to at nighttime a little bit, but at daytime or at night, there's nobody in there. Even maybe if you're shining the flashlight, it's gonna be hard to see inside these doors. They're all gonna be factory smoked.
well, they probably have their own security system anyway.
Yes,
I would.
no, for sure, yeah, but yeah, you can't just drive down the deal and, oh, look at that nice car in there, or whatever they have in there. It won't be like that. Now, if they're there and they get the doors open, or they have every light bulb on inside, they're like a car with tinted windows. You have the lights on inside the car, you can kind of see in there vaguely, but if there's no lights on, you can't see in. So,
Okay, do you have
Thank
some
you.
questions?
Yeah, I got 2 more.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
No, you're good. One goes to the lighting, on the property, the buildings that are gonna be farthest to the west, which way will the opening let's say, what's a good way to describe it? Will the front entrance be on the west side, or will the front entrance be on the east side? To the buildings will be sitting as far west. The reason I'm asking, I got a concern on lighting because, and how bright they are. Our neighbors, everybody on the east side of Valley Shores, if those lights are bright enough, you know, if they're low, you know, pointing to the ground, different story, but if you have lighting in your parking lot and you have lighting on the west side, complete west side, you're gonna be directing that light to everybody in our neighborhood on the east side.
They're just wall pack lights. Our aesthetic lights will just be globes. They won't be very bright on just for aesthetic.
Right.
And then the building goes have, just a standard code, round.
Push down light, I don't know if that's a terminology, okay,
Yeah, they won't be tall lights, leading light up the neighborhood.
okay.
And you'll have landscaping all around there too.
Probably the last one, the entrance into that development is gonna come off of Highway 64. And my question is gonna be, what are you gonna do with that intersection where Dollar General is at? Right now, you have semi trucks that fly down that highway, and if you have more people making left-hand turns or even right-hand turns without a turning lane, I'm concerned about traffic flow, I'm concerned about safety.
We're very concerned about too. It's Highway 275 and we right to the highway department. They don't have to listen to us. I don't know whether it should be a roundabout or it should be they'll never put a stoplight in there.
That's a state highway, right?
Or state highway.
So it's a, so
State
it's,
highway, yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
state who's
And
gonna
they're-
do anything
State,
with it.
yeah.
They literally told us until you have so many accidents, we won't do it.
So somebody has to die first before they fix
Just
it?
like Fremont used to be.
Okay,
Yeah. Highway 30 and 275.
okay.
It's
I
been so
just-
many years. I know it's a shame.
It's
It's
a terrible way to
it's
do
such a wrong.
it. I mean,
It's actually based on volume and not crashes.
Right.
I hope it's not based on crashes.
Probably.
I think we hit the volume though for that.
Not burning Facebook.
No, that's the three areas that I wanted to cover, thank
It's pretty
you.
much safer to come into town than go out,
Yeah,
you know. So if you're close enough, like Jim, he's right there on the corner, almost.
go the other way.
there's just more and more traffic on 64, and I just concerned with the additional volume. And what's the rationale for not putting stoplights in there? Because don't tell me you can't have stoplights on highways, I've seen them, state highways. So what's the rationale that we can't have a light, Highway 64 there right at that intersection?
That's a different board to talk to.
Well, I know, but
Based on volume, they haven't met the volume requirements yet.
So how often do they check that?
We've asked them a couple times.
Right.
We probably ask them every 2 or 3 years to
Yeah.
get.
okay.
The state will count it every 3 years, because it's usually every 3 years on every.
Unless you
on their
request it.
cycle, unless we
So
request it.
do we know the last time that's been done?
Not off the top of my
We can
head,
find out.
but we can find out, yeah.
We could find that out, because I mean, I go out there
I think we've
every
asked-
morning and it's more and more traffic literally every day.
I think we've asked within the last 3 years, we'll say that.
Did they
About
just,
the recent
did
count.
they just do one on 264?
264.
Just a few months ago?
A traffic
Just one
count.
of those. They had a whole bunch of
2 counters.
counters across the road and everything.
By lots?
Maybe.
That is.
Yeah, I did ask them to do a recent study out there to see if we could put signals at those ramp terminals at 275 and Meigs,
Yeah,
and I haven't heard
I
back.
haven't heard that yet.
Which that area is also.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
keep
those
getting
ramp terminals are possible. You get a couple of semis
Yeah.
waiting to turn left
Turn
to
left,
get on.
and it's, you're backed up onto 275.
Yeah. So I did ask, that's probably what that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Kyle, do they care what traffic it is? Does it matter whether it's
Yeah, well, they'll look at the
Truck.
percentage of truck traffic as well as.
sand and gravel?
Turning movements.
Because they'd never stop. They'd never be able to stop. Or no truck would be able to stop if somebody pulled out, coming off that viaduct, you know. Anybody else in the audience want to come up and say hi? All right, I'll close the public hearing. Any further discussion from the board?
You're going to discuss those flag lots?
Yeah.
I'll just respond, I guess, more so to Brian's inquiry about or Kyle's inquiry about the flag lots. Right now, the code just requires that the lots touch public right away. So that's what the generic layout is, why it's doing that. We have had some other developments, I guess, or layouts look at how can we do this differently. It's it's an idea that Mike and I have talked about a little bit, even gave to about, is there some code changes that we potentially would contemplate or anything like that, but right now, that's why they're doing what they're doing, so. I guess we kind of covered the Highway 64 intersection, that's based on traffic volume with the state on the DOT. And I can look up and see when I last talked to Mr. Alan Swanson on a traffic count, so. And then I think the other one that Derek had was on the lighting. The other thing is on site plan reviews is the spill analysis is always one of those topics that we ask for. And that's the candle foot so that way all of the light that they're proposing would remain on their site. So that would be another item that would be addressed just during the site plan review process.
Any other questions?
One more, Larry, like I said, one more note. And then based on the land use matrix, is if something is more retail or commercial that is allowed on the land use matrix in the C3 district, it still would have to fulfill the off-street parking requirements. So if they're looking at some user, this could be, I guess they could theoretically, build some of these buildings and then there's tenant finishes and that's when some of the parking requirements would come to fruition once they actually have the known tenants for which parts of the building and what size of the buildings and those kinds of things. Like I answered all the stuff I took notes on.
All right, if there's no other questions. I'd like to have a motion on, I guess we have to do them separate. We have to do separate, okay. Need a motion on the preliminary plat.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
great, okay. John, a voice vote?
Kyle? Yes. Larry?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Mark? Brian?
Yes.
Danielle? Jeremy? Craig?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Recommendation of the city council. All right, 8B, Falcon Business Park 2, consideration approval for application of final plat. I'll open a public hearing if there's anybody that wants to say anything again. If not, I'll close the public hearing. Any other discussion? Anything come up in the last 5 minutes?
I just have a question for the developers. Are you guys gonna be kind of selective about what goes in there?
Yeah, we're in covenants, like I said, Brian touched on that.
Okay.
No.
No candidates.
No mechanics.
Yeah, I understand that, sorry.
Sorry about that.
I should have said something earlier. Just my only concern is if you had a business that had a lot of coming and going all day long, could probably be a problem in there.
Yeah.
It's tight.
We're trying to address as a group, be selective, no mechanics, nothing that's gonna cause a lot of noise, a ton of traffic, dust. So we're gonna have the covenants drawn up for the association that will dictate, and we're gonna limit those noise and use, address that when people buy the units. But yeah, we're on the same page. We don't want riffraff.
Okay. Well, that's,
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't call it a body shop riffraff, but.
Not, but, thank you.
All right, so, any other discussion? Okay, ask for a vote on this particular item. Recommendation of city council.
Do we have a motion, final motion to approve?
On the, yeah, on the file.
What's that?
We just did one on the file, now we gotta do the file.
Yeah.
So I need a vote.
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll make a motion to approve it then. Recommend city council that we approve it. Thank you. I don't know if you look at the. Lee.
Larry.
And then Brian?
Yeah.
Jim.
Jim.
Or Jim.
Put Jim on it.
Tim's second, all right. Voice vote, John.
Kyle? Yes. Larry?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Mark? Brian?
Yes.
Danielle? Jeremy? Craig?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Motion carried. Gabe, anything else for the cause that might be coming up for us?
I think Greg covered it all.
No, I mean, coming up for future meetings.
Oh, I don't believe, we are possibly looking at one for next month for Valley Corp. There'd be one more thing to submit on City Month, so.
Oh, for them moving?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Greg?
Second.
Jim? All right, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Hey, you got those in the covenants.
Yeah, there you go. What, you gonna have a bar out there?